Close your eyes, Josh. Take a deep breath and relax. The universe is deathless, because having no finite self, it stays infinite. Now head outside. Let my voice be your guide.
Dalton! Dalton!
Tell me where my son is. Please.
Welcome back to Movieman, where we dive deep into the shadows of horror cinema. Today, we're exploring the chilling world of Insidious, a film that has terrified audiences since its release in 2010. This isn't just a haunted house story, it's a journey into a dark, supernatural realm where nightmares become reality. We're going to walk through every twist and turn of the plot, uncovering the sinister forces at play and the terrifying secrets they reveal. So, dim the lights, get comfortable, and prepare to be haunted by the story of Insidious. The film opens with the Lambert family, Renee, Josh, and their three children, Dalton, Foster, and their infant daughter, Callie, moving into what seems like a typical suburban home. It's a fresh start for the family, but from the very beginning, there's an underlying sense of dread. The house is large, with dark corners and creaking floors, a perfect setting for what's to come. Renee, a loving mother and aspiring musician, is trying to balance her dreams with raising her children. Meanwhile, Josh, a schoolteacher, is often absent, leaving Renee to settle into the new home on her own. But soon, small, unsettling events begin to disrupt their routine. Dalton, the couple's curious young son, is drawn to the attic, a space that holds more than just old furniture and forgotten memories. One evening, Dalton hears strange noises coming from the attic. He investigates, climbing a rickety ladder to reach a light switch. But the ladder gives way, sending him crashing to the floor. As Dalton lies on the ground, his eyes widen in terror, staring into the darkness as if something unseen is staring back at him. This moment marks the beginning of the Lamberts' descent into horror. The next morning, Dalton doesn't wake up. Renee and Josh rush him to the hospital, but the doctors are baffled. There's no medical explanation for his condition. Dalton is in a deep coma, unresponsive to any stimuli. The once happy and lively household is now shrouded in fear and confusion, as the family struggles to understand what has happened to their son. 3 months later, Dalton is still in a coma, and the Lamberts have brought him home, hoping familiar surroundings might help. But as soon as they do, strange and terrifying events begin to plague the household. The first sign of something sinister comes when Renee hears a distorted voice through the baby monitor, a menacing whisper that demands, "I want it now." The voice sends chills down Renee's spine, but the terror doesn't stop there. She soon finds a bloody handprint on Dalton's bedsheets, a clear sign that something unnatural is at work. And then, the haunting becomes more personal and more terrifying. In the middle of the night, Renee sees a strange man standing in Callie's room, silently watching over her crib. It's a brief but horrifying encounter that leaves Renee questioning her sanity. When she tries to tell Josh, he dismisses her fears, attributing it to stress and exhaustion. But Renee knows what she saw was real. Unable to endure the growing terror, Renee insists that the family move to a new house, believing that leaving the home will end their nightmare. Josh, desperate to bring some peace back into their lives, agrees. They quickly pack up and relocate, hoping for a fresh start. But as they soon discover, the horrors that haunt them are not tied to the house, they're tied to something far more insidious. Despite moving into a new home, the supernatural disturbances continue, escalating in both frequency and intensity. The new house, though different in appearance, soon reveals itself to be just as haunted as the last. Renee is once again tormented by unexplained phenomena. A record player turns on by itself, playing an old-timey tune, and she catches glimpses of a young boy dancing around the house, only for him to disappear as mysteriously as he appeared. These occurrences push Renee to the brink. Even Josh, who was once skeptical, begins to feel the weight of something sinister pressing down on them. But the final straw comes when Josh's mother, Lorraine, reveals a disturbing dream she had. A dream where she entered Dalton's room only to find a dark figure lurking in the corner. When she asked it what it wanted, the figure simply replied, "Dalton." This dark figure, with its pale skin and red face, isn't just a figment of Lorraine's imagination. It soon manifests in the real world, standing behind Josh in a moment that sends shockwaves through the family. It becomes clear that whatever is haunting them isn't just a ghost, it's something far more malevolent, something that wants Dalton. With no other options, Lorraine reaches out to a friend from her past, Elise Reiner, a psychic and paranormal investigator. If anyone can help the Lamberts, it's Elise. Elise Reiner arrives with her team, Specs and Tucker, who set up their equipment to investigate the strange occurrences in the Lambert household. Elise, a seasoned expert in the paranormal, immediately senses the presence of something dark and powerful. She sits down with Renee and Josh to explain what she believes is happening to Dalton. Elise reveals that Dalton has a rare ability known as astral projection, the ability to leave his physical body and travel through different spiritual planes while he sleeps. This ability, which Dalton has had since he was very young, has allowed his spirit to venture too far from his body, causing him to become lost in a dark and dangerous place known as the Further. The Further is a realm that exists beyond our world, a place where tortured souls and malevolent entities dwell. Dalton's spirit is trapped there, and his physical body has become a beacon, attracting these spirits who are desperate to return to the world of the living. But there's one entity in particular that poses the greatest threat, a demon with a red face, a creature of unimaginable evil that wants to possess Dalton's body for its own dark purposes. To try and reach Dalton, Elise conducts a seance, attempting to make contact with his spirit. But instead of finding Dalton, they provoke the demon, which violently attacks them, using Dalton's body as a conduit. The seance confirms their worst fears: Dalton is in grave danger, and time is running out. It's then that Lorraine reveals a shocking secret about Josh's past. Lorraine shares photos from Josh's childhood, revealing that he too had the ability to astral project. But unlike Dalton, Josh was haunted by a malevolent spirit, a shadowy old woman who appeared in his photos, getting closer with each picture. This spirit was trying to possess Josh, just as the demon is now trying to possess Dalton. The closer the woman got, the more terrified Josh became, eventually blocking out his memories of astral projection altogether. With no other option left, Josh agrees to use his repressed ability to astral project, entering the Further to find Dalton and bring him back. Elise guides Josh into a deep trance, and soon, his spirit separates from his body. Josh suddenly finds himself in a dark, misty void, the entrance to the Further. This is where the real